important for each and every one of us to know. So this week, as you may have seen in some of the public relations announcements that we've been doing, we're really focusing on behavioral health awareness this school year, but even especially this week. And so today, Anthony's been brought to us by a grant that we received from Essentia Health and Medica to really talk a little bit about mental health awareness, but also chemical health awareness. And so it is a very hard topic at times to talk about, but I think that the way that Anthony delivers the information is really helpful and energetic and engaging, and I think you are going to enjoy it, and you're each going to get a little piece of information from it. What I would ask from you, though, is at this time, I would ask that you please keep your devices away, keep them turned off. Anthony's come to us, he's here to entertain us, but he's also here to have some conversations, and I really want you to try to be present here in regards to listening to his message. At the end of the presentation, I would just ask you to just stay seated, and then I will come back up and do the dismissal. So please give Anthony your round of applause and your attention.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Anthony Grupido. I'm 28 years old, and I grew up in a town north of Detroit, Michigan. As a magician, I used to tour all over the world, opening up for the Impractical Jokers and Jim Gaffigan and some of the America's Got Talent winners. The reason that I brought me here today, though, is because about a decade ago, I started creating a presentation, the one that you're about to see, called The Magic of Hope. And the reason I created The Magic of Hope is because when I was in high school, I lost over 13 of my friends and classmates to suicide. And I myself am a 3-time attempt survivor. I was always interested in learning more about how I could help people, and myself, but here's the issue. Speakers would come to my school, and they were great people, but they would only present on data and statistics. And you can't do anything with data or statistics. So for the next hour, I told you that 1 out of 4 people struggle with mental health. It's like, okay. I could remind you that the second leading cause of death for our age group is also suicide, but there's nothing that you can do with that information either. This presentation has actual tools and advice that you can use to help yourself, the people that you care about, and your future. And the reason I designed it that way is because some people may not struggle, but eventually you might want to help someone that you care about. So I hope you guys are present and get to pay attention. The flight out here was pretty awesome, and it's kind of weird, there's no snow. I heard last year you guys are getting a wall of snow around this time, so very grateful to have an easy drive. I will not bore you with any PowerPoints, so everything I do, the stories are going to be kind of illustrated with magic. So with that being said, before we get anything too serious, can someone help me with my favorite card trick? I need to follow. You shot your hand up first. Give them a round of applause! Let's go! Come on up! Awesome. What was your name? Drew. Let's give Drew a nice big hand. I appreciate you. Drew, have you ever helped a magician before? Well, then prepare to be disappointed. Watch carefully. All the cards are pretty darn shuffled. These are the same ones I was using yesterday, but I was thinking you could just, instead of me cut the cards all fancy because you'll think I'm cheating, right? Would you just poke one single playing card for me? That'll be yours? Okay, this will be Drew's card. Memorize it for me. And if you cannot see the card, that's okay. Drew, your face should tell the whole audience if you found it in just a moment. What I'll do is I'll take the card and I'll give it a nice cut, and I'll even drop it to show you guys I have no holes. Let me cut above where the card should be, below where it probably is, and at any time, Drew, as I cut through the back, you just say stop. Doesn't matter when. Okay? Now, Drew, I have no idea where your card is. Do you believe me? You do? Who believes me that I don't know where the card is? Not many people look like they believe me. That's okay. I invite skepticism. But I'm actually being honest. Drew, your card is lost, and I have no control over how this trick is about to end. Time to time, do you feel like you don't have control over something? Yeah, raise your hand if you feel like Drew and I. Time to time, feel like you have control over things, right? Awesome. Most people put their hand up because feeling like we don't have control over things is part of the human experience. But when I was growing up, when I was in high school, Drew, I thought that during these challenges, I had to face it alone. One of the best things you can do when you don't know what to do is to ask for help. And who better to get help from to find that card than my buddy Rabbit? Did you want to meet Andy the Rabbit? You guys want to meet Andy the Rabbit? Oh, hold on. It's like this whole section needs coffee. You guys want to meet Andy the Rabbit? You guys want to have fun today? I got you all planned. Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, I'm 28 and I just moved out of a condo. Not very responsible human, so I don't have a real rabbit to. But I do have this wind-up toy. I was going to wind him up, have him hop down the deck of cards. You can stop him, you can steer him. He's going to hop along and try to guide you to your card. Now here's the thing, he stops. Do you think he found it, or should I wind him back up? Wind him back up and wind him up a wee bit more. He's salary, so let's take our time. We'll have him hop down the again, and he stops. You think he found it, should we wind it back up? You found it. Well, put your finger on the one you think he chose. There's a bunch of them. This one right here. So none of these, and none of these, but this one right here. How crazy would it be if Drew and Andy worked together to find their card, the find the clubs? Give them a big round of applause. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, Christina. Drew's not much for reactions. She was like, that is my card. Thank you. No, so let me tell you what did not happen. What did not happen is Andy the Rabbit did not hop down the deck of cards and say, Drew, this is your playing card. No. Andy the Rabbit is an amazing metaphor for what a good mental health professional would do. Believe it or not, Andy the Rabbit guided you to your card. So like a therapist, a counselor, a social worker, or a psychologist, they guide you to a place where you can make the best decision for yourself based on your goals. Whether you realize it or not, your goal is to find that playing card to impress the whole high school, and you did that without any of my help, so I feel like she deserves another big hand. I didn't do nothing. But that's why I have never understood why there's stigma that surrounds all of the healthy tools and resources that we have available to use to help ourselves and the people that we care about when it comes to dealing with challenges like stress, anxiety, depression, and even trauma. Let me remind you something. That happiness, excitement, and joy are all human experiences that we wish to live inside of. But they are actually just as normal as the negative emotions that we experience as well. What I'm trying to tell you is that there is absolutely nothing unique about stress, anxiety, depression, or trauma. They are all part of the human experience. And the way that you respond to them will make or break your success. So believe it or not, for the rest of your life, good things are going to happen to you. But also some bad things are going to happen to you. You have very little control over the good and the bad things that are to come. But you do have complete control over the way that you are going to respond to them. Which reminds me of one of my favorite illusions of all time. When I was 5 years old, I had started performing magic. And when I was 8 years old, my parents took me to Las Vegas to see a magician named Lance Burton perform at the Monte Carlo. He did this amazing illusion with a bottle and glass that I'm going to try to recreate for you guys here today at the school, but I need your help. In order for the bottle and the glass to switch places on the table, I need everyone here to shout change. I need the whole audience to help me out with this. On the count of 3 to shout change, they'll switch. It's incredible. Check this out. On 1, 2, 3! Change! Thank you! Yeah. That's a little funny. Obviously, I'm not going to touch the bottle or the glass. That would be cheating. That's why I brought 2 tubes. Tube number 1 is always going to go over the glass, and tube number 2 over the bottle. Sorry, when working with breakable things like bottles and glasses, it's important to keep an extra one behind your backdrop just in case it shatters. But let's try it again. Tube number 1 will go over the glass, and tube number 2 will go over the bottle. On the count of 3, the bottle and the glass will switch places. Just shout change. It'll happen. Check this out. On 1, 2, 3! You did it. You guys are incredible. They have switched places. That's the easy part. The hard part is to get them to go back. Hey! Woo! All right! Yeah. All right, none of you look impressed. The easy part is to get them to switch places. The hard part, of course, is to get them to go back, just like so. Here, we'll do it again. Shout change on 3. 1, 2, 3! They switch places. Watch carefully. Bottle, glass. To the bottle. My bad. I'm so sorry. Every once in a while what happens is the bottle and the glass, they switch places, but one falls and shatters, so I keep an extra one carefully in the way. You can just use 1 tube, 2, you can get the glass to turn into a bottle to turn into a glass. Notice how the bottle actually stays here, but the glass is still a bottle and the bottle is still a glass. Let's start with the bottle here. Sometimes I have a bottle here, not a glass with a bottle, not a bottle with a glass. Oh, we're out of glasses, so I brought 2 extra bottles. Thank you, thank you. The kid in the gray sweatshirt is just like, bruh. I love it. So definitely one of my favorite illusions of all time, but it's the story that goes along with it is the reason I perform it. So unfortunately, when I was in 5th grade, I had gotten bullied so bad that I had to move schools. So I went from a larger public school, kind of like this community has, to a very small school called Kingsbury. Junior kindergarten through 8th grade, there are only 124 students. In my classroom, there's 600 kids. So I had a very different and sheltered experience than what I assume you're getting here in the Valley City District. So let me fast forward to my high school experience. Walking into Lake Orion High School, there are 3,000 students in one building, and there are 700 kids in my class. I walked in the first day of my freshman year, I didn't know a single person. So I was very nervous about how I was going to make friends, because I'm in school today, but my freshman year of high school, I practiced and studied magic, and I played a lot of World of Warcraft. So I didn't have a lot of things in common with people. Luckily, though, I grew up in a wrestling family. My Uncle Kent started the United States Girls Wrestling Association. This allowed women to wrestle collegiately and in the Olympics. I actually got to watch Ronda Rousey wrestle through that program until she became a UFC fighter. So I had a lot of pressure growing up that I needed to be a good enough wrestler to get a college scholarship, to go to college and be the first person in my family to get a degree. And that's the expectations they set for me. So my freshman year of high school, I'm on the wrestling team right around Thanksgiving break, and one of the seniors invites me to a party. I was pretty pumped about this, but I don't know if your mom is like my mom. She loves me, she just says weird stuff all the time. So I get home, I was like, Mom, you won't believe it, I got invited to a party. She's like, that's great, Anthony, you don't have any friends, you should go. I was like, thanks for the reminder. Love you too. But she drove me, right? So that's cool. So Friday comes, we're driving, we're like, Mom, we're down the street, I yell, Mom, stop! She slams down the brakes and goes, what? I was like, nothing, nobody can see you drive me off, they're gonna think I'm lame. She's like, yeah, they would. See you, skirt, like got right out of there. Now, I don't know if you can relate to me, because I'm 28 years old and I do this today. I don't feel bad about it. My friends get annoyed by it all the time too. I'm a very confident person. I can speak to all of you right now, but for some reason, I can't knock on a door or ring a doorbell. That's like way too much for me. I'd rather shoot you a text message when I'm in your driveway. Anyone else, you're not knocking on the door, you're just gonna send your friend a text, right? So I'm sitting outside the party, I'm like, yeah, no. Hey bro, I'm here. Like 2 minutes goes by, I'm like, huh, he didn't text me. That's it, I should leave. He didn't mean to invite me. This guy don't like me. And same thing, my friends don't text me back for like 5 minutes. I'm like, they don't love me anymore. I knew it. Anyone else? Yeah, I hear laughter. Anyone else? Put your hand up if you're like me. Your friend will text me back one night. You're like, that's it? They wrote me off. So, sometimes their anxiety seems a little ridiculous. It doesn't mean it's not charity. So that day I walk in. I like kick open the door. I think I'm super tough. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And the first thing I notice is there's really loud music and there's bottles of alcohol everywhere. This is an environment that I do not thrive in even today. So I'm standing in the corner, awkward as can be, just doing one of these, like, oh man. And then the senior, the one who invited me, he ran over. He was like, Anthony! He was like, what the heck? Why do you look so nervous? I was like, oh, you like told me people be drinking and stuff. He was like, dude, like, you're so lame. And I was like, I know, give me 1 second. So I ran to the bathroom and locked the door, and I called my mom. It's been like 5 minutes. I was like, Mom, you won't believe it. I'm at a party right now, and people are drinking. There's like a pause. I thought my mom hung up the phone. I kid you not, my own mom yelled up. She was like, Anthony, you're late. And I was like, I know. And she was like, thank you for telling me. I'm on the way to pick you up. I think it's important that everyone has someone in their life that they can call to remove them from an environment where they don't feel comfortable without like passing judgment or getting them in trouble. I'm happy I left because an hour later the cops showed up, right? They lined everyone up on the wall and they started breathalyzing them. If somehow you are in high school and you do not know what a breathalyzer is, there is a machine that measures how much you drank. The people who did drink, well, they stayed and they got an MIP. The people who did not drink, they were free to go. What I didn't mention is that the senior who invited me happened to be one of the best wrestlers in the nation at the time. He only lost 3 matches his entire high school career. He had a full ride scholarship to wrestle at any college he wanted to. Now, a lot of people are automatically assuming right now like he was really drunk, really buzzed, but that was not the case. So this is where you realize like I don't like to lie or sugarcoat things. I remember when I was in high school, some dude, he was like super young, super ripped, he had a cowboy hat on, and he tried the fear tactic. I don't know if you've ever had to sit through this, it's awful, it never works, it never will work. He came out, he was like, kids, you're gonna try drugs and alcohol once, and you're gonna die. Your whole life's gonna be ruined. And I'm like sitting in there like a sophomore, I'm like, bro, my uncle drinks a lot, he's at work right now, so I don't know. Now, I think you're smart enough to know that there are substances that will kill you like this. And overdoses are an epidemic. They're on the rise. I could do an entire presentation on fentanyl. I have lost good friends to these things. And it's something I never want to see anyone go through. That night, he wasn't drinking to get drunk. He wasn't drinking to get buzzed. He had a single drink that night. A couple years later, we're getting breakfast, and I just brought it up because I'm awkward and everything. So I'm like, hey, like a couple years ago, I remember like, we were at this party, and you had a single drink. I mean, you lost your college scholarship. Like, what was going on? He said, Anthony, he was like, now that I'm a little older, I realize now, I thought if I wasn't drinking that night, that people would think I was lame or wasn't cool, wasn't fitting in. Realized today it didn't have to be that way. He was like, I was trying to impress all these people that were at my house, and he's like, the truth is, I haven't seen anyone since the night of that murder. I haven't seen any of these people. It's been 3 years. I cared so much about what they thought about me that I threw away a future. And it really wasn't worth it. Now that's what really got me thinking, because my best friend's dad from middle school suffered from alcohol use disorder. And what I mean by that is he did not wake up in the morning and pour a cup of coffee. He woke up in the morning and started drinking. He drank from the morning he got up until he went to bed. This did not mean he was a bad person. He was and is today an amazing human being. He had a wife and 3 kids. He had a triple-digit salary. We used to race go-kart tracks around his yard. But something happened to him in the past that was really traumatic. He didn't really know how to deal with that in a way that was healthy. So he chose a way that was unhealthy. In this case, it was alcohol. Regardless of your awareness, you have healthy ways that you deal with challenges. And the healthy ways you deal with challenges support the relationships that you have with your friends and your family, yourself and your future. The unhealthy ways do not. Some unhealthy coping skills that humans have been using for thousands of years are drugs, alcohol, self-harm, and even violence. But they all rip you away from 3 relationships that you probably take for granted because, well, they're kind of handed to you. 16 years into what I thought was an amazing marriage, the wife approaches him and says, hey, the drinking is affecting me, it's affecting the kids, and I've given you too many opportunities, so I'm filing for divorce, so I'm taking the kids. Now she wins. This is not an uncommon story. Divorce is actually becoming more common in America. And if that's something that you're struggling with emotionally, I do encourage you to talk to someone about that. It will help you in the future, I guarantee it. So that's the first relationship my best friend's dad loses, the one that he has with his family. They love him, they support him, but they're not going to be around him. They set boundaries in their life. But that's when his real friends take notice. And this is what I kind of define as real friends. I know sometimes in high school, like, things change quick. Over the years, you realize your real friends, they actually hold you accountable, they do respect your boundaries, and they don't try to cheat you out of positive experiences. There are people you have fun with, and then there are people who are your actual friends. I think you guys are pretty aware of that. His actual friends go, dude, your wife and kids left, and you are drinking more. This is not how we handle things. We are not going to hang out with you until you cut this nonsense out. So they take a step back. Now his friends and his family are out of the picture. They're not talking to him. This is a very lonely and isolating place for any human being to be. Every morning this guy wakes up and looks at his phone. There is no missed calls. There's no missed texts. He has 2 sons and a daughter. He wants to hear from them. He feels some kind of way about this in his stomach. Sometimes our symptoms from anxiety can manifest as physical symptoms. He says, you know what? I miss my wife and kids. I'm going to quit drinking today. But an hour later, these negative emotions overwhelm him. And the only way this man has taught his mind, body, and spirit to deal with negative events and emotions in his life since high school is by using alcohol. So he drinks more. And that's when he loses the 3rd relationship. And if you can hear my voice, it is the most important relationship that anyone can have. It's the one that you have with yourself. So every single day he woke up and said, I'm not going to drink today. An hour later he ends up drinking. He lies to himself. He breaks a boundary he sets in his life. And if you have any self-respect as an individual, if someone were to consistently lie to you, you guys done? Thank you. It throws me off when people are talking. I normally don't mind, but it throws me off. If somebody were consistently lie to you or break your boundaries, if you have any self-respect, you would not call them a friend. You wouldn't feel comfortable around them, and you definitely wouldn't want to hang out with them. You can have the exact same relationship with yourself. When you lie to yourself, and when you cheat yourself out of all the amazing experiences that you deserve as part of being human. Which is why it is so important to set and respect the boundaries that you have for yourself. It could make or break your success, because keep this in mind. Good and bad things are going to happen to you. You don't have much control over that. But you do have control over the way that you respond to it. And that's what makes or breaks our success. Now, I know I talked for a while, so I want to show you something really fun. I need an iPhone for this, so I'm not really as familiar with the droids. I grew up on the Zune, and then I switched over to the iPhone. I don't know, the Zune's probably not relevant anymore, but who was an iPhone that I can use real quick? So, do you know your lock code? Yeah, you do? You know your lock code by heart? All right, give them a round of applause. Come on up. So, I'm going to attempt to break into your phone. What was your name? Mixie? Mixie, let me see your phone real quick. Obviously, we didn't set this up. I don't think I've ever met any of you guys before. But you do have a 6-digit lock. I'm going to turn you on airplane mode so your friends don't text you weird things. And I'm going to turn the calculator on. You know your 6-digit lock. I have a sneaking suspicion that you do not know Mixie's lock code. You do? Oh, I was about to say there'd be some drama if you did. So here, come on down. What's your name? So check it out. I'm not going to expose your code, so don't worry. A 6-digit lock code, I'm locked out, but I'm on the calculator. Would you type in a random 6-digit number for me? I'll look away. And when you're done, did you hit plus? Okay. I believe in you. Would you put your lock code in the calculator, but when you're done, hit equal? You can sit down. You're good to go. You can give him a round of applause. You don't try to get let me know when the total's there. Okay, so your random number, A, plus your lock code, B, equals 443771. That's not your code. No, okay, I don't know what it would be, so the total does not help me. I will hit clear. But what does help me is you guys have a difference in fingerprints that are on the phone. And, let's see. You know it digit by digit, or do you know the pattern? Okay, so like I said, I won't expose it, but it looks like you are creating triangles. So is that correct? That means yes. And then you're here, here, and then you go, boop. Oh, actually, sorry, I misclicked. Sorry, you go here, here, here. Yes? Yep, here, here, and here. And that's when you break inside of the phone. Give her a nice round of applause. Actually, do me a favor. I don't want to go through your apps or anything, so open it for me, and would you exit out of your apps? I never know what people have open, and I try to respect. Sometimes it's a bank account, you know? Okay, so do me a favor. You close out all your apps. Let me go to the calculator. Would everyone in the room just think about a 3-digit number for me in their head? Let me know when you have that 3-digit number in your head, and I'm going to turn your screen lock off. Is that okay? Let's see here. It should, okay, cool. So, raise your hand. Oh, I keep exiting out for some reason. It keeps moving. Okay, so do me a favor. Actually, you know what? I think this would be fun. I'm going to give you a throwback. Let's use someone else's phone. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can I use someone else's phone for this? Can I get another volunteer? So, I feel like only front runners raising their hand. I'm trying to jump around if that's okay. What's your name? Yeah, come on up. Give her a round of applause. Let's go! All right, Reed. So open your phone. I don't even know I can break into stuff like that, but this is what I was thinking about doing. Yeah, come on up. Let me see your phone real quick. So first, let me exit out of it. You don't have any apps. Perfect. Let me go to the calculator. And stand on my left side. Let me remove that trap door. Okay, we're on the calculator. Do me a favor, if you can think of, let me go to the calculator here. Think of a 3-digit number in your head for me, and let me know when you have that number, okay? And same with everyone in the audience. Think about a 3-digit number, let me know when you have it. Oh, and let me turn your screen on. That way it'll flip all the way. Cool. So now that your phone actually turns, check this out. What we can do here is, I cleared the calculator memory, so like I hit when clear and a recall, I'll clear. 5 times 5 is 55, I didn't say anything or stuff like that. But what was the number you were thinking of? 419 times a 3. Raise your hand if you got a 3-digit number. I'll find it. Go ahead. Times 235 times 157. These are really the numbers I'm putting in, correct? Okay. Times. Let's hear from someone over here. Go ahead. Get the glasses. 360. Okay. I'm just going to hit equal. We get this giant exponent. 7.165 07 to the next power. 7,016,507,449. If I had that written in my right pocket, would you be impressed? I'd be very impressed too. But I can do better than that. You don't recognize 7,016,507,449? Look a little bit closer. Doesn't that look like your grandma's phone number? Like 701-650. Is that your grandma's phone number? Give them a big round of applause! Thank you! Tell Grandma I said hi, alright? I won't lie to you. Originally, I developed that magic trick to get a girl's phone number. If that's not magic, Riz, I don't know what is. But The reason that I use the phone today is because, well, I think it's important to acknowledge that we are all capable of having a healthy relationship with social media and technology. I'm not one of those guys who are like, kids, stay off social media. That'd be very hypocritical of me. I have 500,000 followers between my platforms. My TikTok gets 100 million views every year. And I've met seriously some cool people because of my social media. I've done some stuff with David Dobrik, to Mike Tyson, to just on and on. You can fact check all this later if you follow me online. But the reason I use the phone is because social media is definitely not something I grew up with. So social media became a thing in 2009, and this is pretty alarming. Between 2009 and 2016, for girls between ages 10 to 14, so this is during the first 7 years of social media, we found that in the United States for girls ages between 10 to 14, that the number of deaths by suicide rose 194% in those 7 years since social media became a thing, and more than everyone started doing it. We have direct data that shows the negative and correlating impact that it has on our lives. Because what we post on social media is the most perfect Instagrammable versions of ourselves, the best filter, the best angles. And as someone who has worked with some of these content creators, I can tell you that everything that you see is completely fake. And most of the people I know with millions of followers still live in their parents' basements in their 30s. Hashtag Jason Nash. Anyways. So instead of trying to tell you how norepinephrine and dopamine and serotonin work and stuff like that, let me share with you a story that you might find yourself or somebody you know. Some people come to school today and they feel safe, accepted, and supported because of the actions and the words of their classmates and their teachers, and that's awesome. And then they go home to an environment where the same thing is happening. They feel safe, they feel accepted, they feel supported, and that is awesome. I'm happy for you. I cannot fully relate to that. I rather would have been at school because that's where my friends were. They made me feel accepted and supported. We had a good time together. When I went home, it was not the same experience. When I got off the bus, I would have my backpack slung over my shoulder, and I'm like, oh man. I'd beeline it through the front doors of my house, past my sister's rooms, past my parents, straight to my room. I would throw my backpack on the bed, and I would use my homework and social media as a window to escape from this environment that I didn't feel accepted in. Here's the issue some people experience today. Some people come to this school and they don't feel safe, accepted, or supported because of the actions and words of other people. Those same individuals likely might go home to an environment where they don't feel safe, accepted, or supported, but not many people really take that into consideration. Chances are they jump onto social media looking for affirmation, which is not what it was built for. People attack them in comments, direct messages, fake profiles, and it never has to be that way. I've actually worked with some of the largest brands in the United States. I've met some really cool people because of it, and I've gotten to share kind of in their culture. I want to tell you something that is pretty important. If you wish to have a successful career in working with other people, you will have to figure out how to get along with people who think differently than you, identify differently than you, look differently than you, believe in different things than you, and wish to live their life in a different way. If you can't figure that out, that company will fire and replace you immediately with somebody who has the exact same degree and exact same skill set. That's how it works. It's zero tolerance policy. They'll lock you out from the whole company, and nobody will care that you're gone because of your attitude. If you have nothing nice to say, you shouldn't say it at all. And I think that's something we drilled into you and everyone since we were like 5. But a lot of people are like, Anthony, I'm kind to everybody. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm nice to people. Like, anytime I'm out in public, I just try to make someone's day. And I'm the same way. Like, if any of us have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, like, it'd be a positive experience. Until I was in therapy, and I was like, saying the same thing to my therapist. I was like, I don't understand. Like, I am kind to everybody. Why do I struggle? She's like, Anthony, you have nothing nice to say. You shouldn't say it to yourself either. I was like, oh, hold on. I never thought about that. And that's actually the reason that they brought me here today, was to share a bit of my story, which I have not done. And I normally wouldn't do this one-on-one. This is kind of the only environment that I like to share my story in, because it's awkward for me. And to do this, I need two teacher volunteers. Where are the fun ones at? Who do you want to see up here? Yeah, I can point to them. Yeah, who is it? Is it that dude in the pole? I don't know names, just point. This guy? Yeah, give him a round of applause. Who else? Give me one more. Is it Buff Murray? Who's Buff Murray? Where's Buff Murray? Oh, are you Buff Murray? No? I was about to say, Buff Murray must be on the cut or something.
Travis Engen.
Huh? Mr. Curry? Where's Mr. Curry? All right, you know what? You're a sweet beard, so you can come down here. Give him a big round of applause. How's it going? Oh, you look ecstatic. Oh, actually, you guys are going to love this. What was your name? Mr. Nielsen? Mr. Curry? Okay, I missed every name that you guys are shouting. Apologies. But I have an idea. I'm very excited for you two because you wouldn't believe this. Mr. Nielsen, I have something for you. Oh, he's like, I accept the challenge. He starts talking. You are not going in here. Don't worry, you're a little too comfortable about this, actually. But come on over here. Don't mess with this man, clearly. What I was going to have you do is I was going to have you tie me into the straitjacket. Every single strap from the back that goes from my neck, down my spine, all the way to my hips. There's also a strap that goes behind my back. But that's not enough to hold me. I've been doing this for, wow, I got my first straitjacket when I was 12, which is a weird flex, but okay. I need your help. I also have all of this chain. Once I'm inside the straitjacket, you two work together as a team to wrap me in the 30-ish feet of chain that I got from Home Depot. Come on over here. There's also a padlock to seal the deal. No, you stay up there. To do this, you roll the chain up. From this end, you'll have that end, like a hose, chain, or a cable. You'll pull it as tightly as you can, and then you'll wrap it through my elbows and my shoulders until all the chain is gone. But it's going to take him a moment to get me in the straitjacket. I don't want to give you a name on it. Mr. Curry? Mr. Curry, I heard a rumor that you have some of the best dancers this school's ever seen. It's going to take him a moment to get me in the jacket. So you just got to hit what you can hit. It's just like college, bro. I believe in you. So you got this. Let's hear from Mr. Curry. Yeah! Zero moves. Zero moves. He went to South Dakota then. I don't know. All righty. No moves from Curry today. Unless you you guys ever see Mr. Curry do a backflip? Not today, my insurance does not cover that. So would you start at the top strap? Work your way towards the bottom? Alrighty. Curry, you got nothing? Bruh. Well, okay. You see the wave guard? You see the wave guard? Dallas, you think you can wave? I think you can wave. Yeah, we got the wave. You know what I mean? You gotta run back and forth. Oh, hey, yes! Let's go! Send it back! All right, that was pretty epic. Give yourself a big round of applause. I appreciate you. We got one last track. Not playing. I picked the wrong guy. Okay, so let's grab your chain, start rolling it up. sorry. I use it. I'm Italian. What up? So, if I was here as an entertainer, I would bust out to fancy lights and music. Tonight, at 7 p.m., I'll be doing the same show that I opened for the Impractical Jokers with. 7 p.m., it'll be right here after the parent-teacher conferences. It is nothing like this. I will barely be talking, and it's going to be a lot of magic. I hope you show up. I'll bring your mom or dad upstage and be hilarious. So, but the reason that they brought me here today was not to bust out to fancy lights and music. There's a video of me on my social media where I got hung upside down 40 feet in the air by a crane, and I escaped the street jacket. And my advice to you is to make better life choices. The reason that they brought me here today, though, was to share my story. You guys have been an incredible audience. You guys have been so respectful and quiet, so I do appreciate that. I told you in 5th grade I got bullied so bad that I had to move schools. What I didn't mention is that as young as 5th grade, I used self-harm to deal with that. But I never talked to anyone about it. I never really thought about it because I went to a private middle school and things were great. I went to high school and things were awesome. In 2010, I won nationals for wrestling at the 135-pound weight class. And I wrestled all the way through high school until my junior year, when everything changed. My junior year, I was on a 20-match win streak. I was undefeated. I was walking into a building called the Silverdome for one of the last events that would ever take place in that building. Underneath the wrestling mats, there was supposed to be turf, but there wasn't. There was concrete. So between the wrestlers and the concrete in the dead of winter, there was like a quarter of an inch of rubber. I won my first match that day, and in my second match, I was up by 7 points. A good wrestler knows if you're taking the lead, you need to choose the down position because that's how you score that extra point. So I went to stand up, my opponent and I fought backwards, and by accident, my opponent took me straight back off the mat. He suplexed me onto my head, which not only damaged my head, but also tore both of the rotator cuffs in my shoulders. And I was told the next day I would never be able to wrestle again. And a week later, I found out that my full ride scholarship to college, that I worked my entire life for, had been pressured to achieve since I was a kid, and wrestled year-round for, would be taken away from me. And at that point in my life, I started to doubt, but I didn't give up hope. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm an AP honor roll student. I will figure this out. Some of my friends could play video games all night and ace their math test. That was never me. I had to work very hard to get C's and B's. So getting an A was like one of the toughest things in the world for me. It just didn't come naturally. Unfortunately, the college system is really broken. This is important information. The college system is kind of broken. My family was in so much debt that we were losing the home I grew up in, and we couldn't pay or file for taxes. Because the colleges couldn't base my parents' income off anything, they said, Anthony, your grades look amazing, but we can't base your parents' income off anything, so you're not eligible to receive any academic grants or scholarships, and we're not even going to give you a loan to go to a community college. But good luck. And at that point, my life began a downward spiral. I didn't know how to deal with this challenge in a way that was healthy. So unfortunately, I resorted to using drugs and drinking alcohol and even administering self-harm. A lot of people say, Anthony, that stuff's for attention, but 6 months of my life went by. I had 2 sisters, they didn't know. I have the best friends in the whole world, and they didn't know. Nobody knew because if you said, Anthony, how are you, man? I'd look at you and say, I'm fine. As if that really means anything. It wasn't until I came to school without sleeves on that somebody had noticed the damage I had done to myself. Noticed I was handing things out that meant a lot to me. Noticed I had slipped away from all the activities that I once enjoyed. Those are all major warning signs. See, what happened is that all of my unhealthy coping skills had stopped working. Drugs, alcohol, and self-harm no longer gave me any relief from any of these symptoms of anxiety or depression. The schools tell us we need 3 people to go to when we feel like this. But I'm actually here to tell you that that advice can be very dangerous because it's not the full sentence. You need 3 people to go to that actually know what to say and actually know what to do, or it can make things a lot worse. The 3 people that I trusted loved me, but this might be the first time we've heard this. People can love you and still have really bad advice for you. The first person I went to said, Anthony, you're a teenager, it's just your hormones, you'll be fine. Being a teenager doesn't give you depression or anxiety. That is absolutely ridiculous. Anyone who has ever said that is wrong. The second person I went to was like that aunt. She was like, Anthony, you should just try smiling and doing yoga. I was depressed. That's how I fixed it. There are plenty of activities to help you relieve stress, but that's not what you say to someone who's suicidal. And the third person I went to didn't believe in this kind of stuff. They looked at me right in the eyes and they said, Anthony, if you really wanted to kill yourself, you would have done it by now. Quit doing all this for attention. My own mom said that. What she didn't know is that same night I attempted suicide. And I've actually tried on 2 other occasions. And after each attempt on my life, I would walk through the front doors of their house and see my parents and sisters who knew nothing about it. And I would sit at school the very next day in seats just like this. And nobody knew. But like I said, somebody went to that counseling office, told them what was going on. They pulled me down there, and they said, Anthony, what happened to you? How did we get here? From there, I was taken to an inpatient place called Common Ground, where I was rehabilitated. And eventually, I was released to Oakland Family Services, where for about a decade of my life, I went to therapy. Learning how to overcome challenges in a way that supported the relationships I have with myself, the people I care about, and my future. And I'm a better man for it. The reason I got wrapped up in a straitjacket and chain to share all this with you is I can't really showcase any other way that would be more accurate of how I felt. I felt stuck in a situation that I had no control over. I felt lost about what I could do about it. But in therapy, I learned how to overcome things. And a deep breath just like this is so powerful. Sometimes all it takes is a deep breath to let go of all that extra weight. See, these chains only held me down because I let them. They were just an illusion. As humans, we tend to create problems in our lives so that we don't have to focus on the ones that we actually have. Take a deep breath. Sweat off that extra weight so that you can work things up and over your head, which is easier said than done, and can put you in the dark sometimes. When you can't see forward, you try to look back at life. That's not how it works. You can only move forward and let the little things slide by. Try for this. And remember, just because something is painful, it doesn't mean that you can't overcome it. So take it from me. I'm 28 years old and I'm doing just fine. No, I'm 28 years old, I'm a magician, and I've never fooled a person in my entire life. So what I mean by that is the brain can only fool itself. So, no, I can't chant a line or play a rabbit to find a card. I can't pull bottles out of thin air or I'd be invited to a lot more parties. I don't really know how to hack into a phone. I don't know your grandma's phone number. It was your grandma's phone number, but I don't know what it is. But that's kind of what magic is for. Magic is a reminder that we have the tools around us to accomplish the impossible. And you have the exact same tools and resources available to you to accomplish something as fun as a magic trick, or something a whole lot more serious, like getting help for yourself and the people that you care about. And I encourage you to use those tools and resources now, because when you are my age, the truth is, they are much harder to find, they're very expensive, and sometimes it takes 2 to 3 months to talk to somebody. The people in this school and community, they genuinely care about you. So I wouldn't say that if it weren't true. So before I go, I have one last thing to say, and hopefully you hear this. Chances are when you were 5 years old, you said this magic word, we did a really funny magic trick for somebody, and that word is abracadabra. But what does it mean? Where does it come from? Why is it that 90% of the world's population can say abracadabra by age 5, and nobody knows what it means? Abracadabra comes from the oldest language that we know. It's the Aramaic language. And the translation is what I speak is what I create. And every single day, the words that you speak create images in people's heads of your self-worth, of their self-worth, or of another person's self-worth. Your words are your most inexhaustible source of magic, capable of healing pain but also inflicting it. You should be using your words to make people feel safe, accepted, and supported. There is so much bad that already happens in the world. It makes zero sense that someone from Valley City would ever react to that. So please, use your words to create possibilities for others, but also use your words to describe yourself in ways that make you feel safe, accepted, and supported, because you as an individual have a responsibility to make yourself feel safe, accepted, and supported as well. You guys are so amazing, and just in case nobody's ever told you, you guys deserve all the amazing things that life has to offer. You deserve love, you deserve friendship, you deserve an amazing future, you deserve the best of friends, you deserve it all. So make sure you know what you want before you go and get it. And before anyone takes the wrong impression here, this was not a, you need to go to college and get a degree and do, no. When I was 18, I lived in a car, and I street performed in Las Vegas for a living. Since that day, I have never obtained a college degree, yet somehow I'm a homeowner with zero debt, and I travel all over the country doing magic and, well, doing this. I did it because I worked hard, I knew what I wanted, and I used the tools around me to accomplish the impossible. You have the exact same tools around you to make your dreams come true as well. So I hope you believe in yourself, and if not, at least surround yourself with people who do believe in you, because you deserve it. I don't think I'm allowed, I'm not going to dismiss you guys. So tonight at 7 p.m., that magic show is happening. I hope you come. I hope you bring the fam. It'd be nice to meet them. I'm going to let the principal or superintendent or somebody dismiss you guys. And thanks so much. Feel free to follow me online. I'm Anthony Grupido. Everyone.
Wow, wasn't that awesome? Give him another round of applause.
I did this with the middle school yesterday, but I want to get you guys on the gram real quick. Hey, Valley City High School, say what up! Thank you.
So I know that the message that you heard today is kind of a deep one. We have a lot of resources available here. If you need any supports today, our counseling staff, our instructors, they're all here to be able to support you. We also, City County Health is here. They also have some resources available for you if you are working through or struggling or need information on a variety of things that might be going on in your life. Swing by their tables to pick up or even to stop by and see some of the stuff that they're presenting. So right now, it is still third period. And so at this point, I am going to ask for the seniors to go ahead. If you are part of the Career and Tech Center though, for third period, you're just to wait here. You will be able to go up to fourth period. But seniors can go ahead and go to third period right now. And I'd like the rest of you just to wait patiently.